Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I am here to give y'all a quick update on Family or Fiance. Let me change my background real quick because Big Brother is up there and we're not talking about Big Brother right now. We're about to get into the mess on Family or Fiance. The new season has started. I call her Dr. Tracy, but I don't know if she's a doctor or not. These first two episodes have been good. I feel like there's storylines that we have not heard before, that we have not examined. In both situations, I wouldn't have gave. No, the second situation, I probably would have gave my blessing, but that first situation, Shanika and Justin lying about babies, I don't know. But let's get into it real quick. I definitely want to know your comments in the comments about what you feel. And then going forward, Family or Fiance is one of those shows that, depending on the episode, I might review it or not. Because if it's a boring episode, I'm probably not going to pay attention. But if it captures my attention and I feel like it's some good talking points or some good drama, I'm going to put my 2 cents out there and we're going to roll with it. Let's start with Shanika and Justin. They were episode 1. I believe he was a police officer, and I don't know what Shanika was, but for the most part, they looked like a beautiful couple. They were coming because Shanika had a problem with her family. She called them weird, and they pretty much just wanted a blessing. His family wanted to know why you not so close to your family and all of that. So we get to there, and the main part of the episode, before I really knew the baby situation, I kind of felt like, well, did Shanika have a baby and they trying to expose her? Because her family was like, does Justin know about this baby? Because if he don't know everything about this baby, he needs to know. So I'm like, oh, the brother getting ready to expose the sister, and I wasn't here for that. But once I understood what he was exposing, my eyes were wide open, and I was 100% on the brother's side, and I didn't understand how everyone around that table did not have questions. They said it's family members to this day that still believe there's a baby Brooklyn somewhere out there. Now, Shanika's story is she got pregnant by somebody she really didn't want to have a baby with. She had an abortion, her choice. But instead of telling her family that she had the abortion, she chose to show pictures of a growing belly, and then at 9 months show pictures of an actual baby and say, this baby is Brooklyn. And to this day, many family members still believe she has a baby, to the point where when they when she come in places, she making her make sure you got a crib, make sure you got this. Like, that's a very elaborate story to cover up an abortion. Now, I understand you may not want to tell your family you have an abortion because that's your business, but why not just say you had a miscarriage? That's easier than to say, um, to drag out this whole pregnancy. Dr. Tracy called it mental illness, and I agree. But I don't know. When I looked at the pictures, I was like, it's mental illness, and plus she the queen of Photoshop, because that baby belly looked very real to me. Very real. It ain't that much poking out your belly in the world. I and this just me, and I don't know these people from a can of paint. I think it's some more to this baby story, but I'm gonna let it go. But it's some more to that baby story, just from the picture evidence and the way the story went down. I'm like, it's something going on here. And if I was Justin, I would have a lot more questions because it doesn't make sense. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who could lie so easily, instead of just saying, really telling your family it ain't none of their business. Instead of just saying, I'm no longer pregnant, it's none of your business, you go through a whole story with people who you already say you're not even cool with, of faking a pregnancy and showing them baby pictures on the internet. But anyway, I'm over that. Let's move on. Now, Justin, I mean, the brother, I forgot the brother's name. I only remember the couple's name. The brother also had an issue with, you promised us 2 Sprinter vans when we came to your engagement party, and you ain't have no Sprinter vans for us. And you promised us a house with a pool and a playroom and all this. And when we got there, it was just something regular. It ain't have all the amenities you promised. Now, sir, brother, sir, if you're not spending your coin and she at least provided you with a ride and somewhere to stay, all you should be saying is thank you. I wouldn't give a damn if half them kids had to make pallets on the floor. If you didn't have the money to pay for it and she found you somewhere to stay and a ride from New Orleans to Alabama, and why didn't you just fly into Alabama? Why you had to fly into New Orleans? But I ain't none of their travel agent. You should just be saying thank you. I thought that part was petty. But see, the brother has so much built up anger because we later found out she's known to lie. Lying is what she does. She's catfished his friends in high school, and then she said she wasn't even sorry. She didn't feel no kind of way for doing it. And then she said, Dr. Tracy got to the root of it. Whatever was going on in their household with that dad, he was real strict and I guess really pushy and forceful in how he wanted their lives to be, that she couldn't be herself, so she started being other people on the internet. I understand the mental illness behind it, but to me, once you reach a certain age and you could pinpoint where your issues lie, you need to get some help. And Justin, if she could lie so easily about all of this other stuff, Justin, it ain't no telling what she lying about. And Dr. Tracy called her because she was saying something about she can't lie about her feelings. And Dr. Tracy was like, why not? You lie about everything else. And I said, Dr. Tracy, you better read. This is a situation where I'm not giving my blessing. It's too much going on. It's too much therapy that needs to be had. And the fact that Justin's family had Shanika's back after finding all this out, I would have a lot of concern if my son brought a woman home who had that elaborate of a history of lying. And I probably am a nosy mom, probably gonna have my foot in all of his business, but no, sir, you ain't getting my blessing for that one. But let's move on from Shanika and Justin. Definitely in the comments, let me know what you thought about Shanika and Justin. And let's get into Donzella and Paul. Now, of course, off bat, I'm going to say Donzella and Paul were cheating. They came to the thing because Donzella got a problem with them sisters. Now, I got a problem with them sisters too, but we going to get into it. And her family pretty much wanted to be closer to her. And her son came. And the issue the son said he had is, I wish I was closer to my mom. And I wish Dr. Tracy would have made Donzella and her son work on their issues. Now, if she did, let me know. I might have fell asleep for a good 15 minutes in the episode. I'm good for doing that. But I thought I was awake the whole time. And I didn't see the son and Donzella work out anything. But at the end of the day, the main, Dr. Tracy always got them doing some challenges. They both had to run down their timeline to each other's family. And when they were on the split screen talking about, we start dating here, we first had sex here, we first got engaged here, from the very first date, where the date was the first time I laid eyes on you was here, they were off. And they weren't off by just like February and January. They were off by February 2015 to January 2018. Like, they were years off on their timeline. And I was just like, y'all asses were cheating. Because my memory is not the best. And if you was to ask me and my husband to do this same split timeline, we might be a little bit off, but I guarantee you we'll be in the ballpark of the same season and year. Where if it was spring, One of us might have said March and the other one might have said May, but we would have been in the same ballpark. We wouldn't have been off by a year. Cause when I think about it, I don't remember when I got engaged. I know it was summertime. I know it was summer. If I got married in 2014, I do at least remember when I got married. If I got married in 2014, we got engaged the summer of 2013. But I don't remember the month if I think about it. But anyway, they were off, way off. So I'm like, they asses were cheating, and I wish they would have just came on this show as two grown adults and say, look, our we start messing around before our divorces were final, or even before we even filed for a divorce. We apologize to our significant others. We apologize for doing it in front of you. But at the end of the day, they're grown. They can do what they want to do. And I don't know why the sisters were so pressed. Because the whole episode, I was like, Alexis is acting like Donzella slept with her man. Because the last time I checked, I thought Paul was your brother, not your man. Alexis was way too invested in what kind of cheating was going on between Donzella and Paul. But Donzella and Paul, y'all didn't have any reason to lie. You are already divorced. It's very clear that when your husband went to his wife and said something going on, and his wife put him out with two trash bags, that let me know it was cheating. Because if it was nothing going on, what your husband worried about and why his wife put him out? So it's very clear that you two were cheating with each other. The shit happened every day of the week. Not saying it's right. We all know that it's wrong, but the shit happened. Admit to it and move on. Because Donzella, you a lucky one. Most men are fool around on their wife, but they ain't never gonna leave their wife. You one of the few that get the man at the end. And we really don't know. Because he might do the same thing to you that he did to her. But let's move on. Let's move on. Now, somewhere down the line, Alexis admitted that she felt like she was put in the middle because when he would go off to be with Donzella, he would tell the wife, I'm going out with my sister. I could understand not wanting to be a part of the lie because nah, for my sister, I'm gonna keep up with the lie. I ain't gonna be like, you could use me, but if I find out like she lied to her husband, I'm gonna keep it. I'm like, yeah, she was with me, and judge me if you want. Most of y'all would do it too. Now I ain't gonna condone it, and I will be like, don't lie on me like that again. But if she got caught up in some stuff like that, I'd be like, yeah, she was, because just like I got my sister's back, and I think most of us would do the same. But at the end of the day, another conversation that pissed me off. They at the table and Donzella was like, you called me a whore. No, because in the beginning, Alexis said, y'all owe me an apology. But then when we get to the table, Alexis don't want to talk about why an apology is needed. And I'm like, hold up, ma'am. I must be toxic because even though I ain't agreeing with what Donzella and Paul are doing, I'm the type of person where you get to me and demand an apology. I want to know what I'm apologizing for too. And if you don't want to talk about it while you bring it up, hey, Kamisha. So I was a little bit on their side. Again, them sisters too invested in their brother's whereabouts and what he was doing. Too much was going on. Now, the next time they sit at the table, Donzella tells Alexis, you called me a whore. And Alexis was like, whore isn't in my vocabulary. I would never call anyone a whore. And Donzella was like, well, you call me a whore. And she was like, no, I wouldn't say that. I would probably say bitch, but not whore. I'm telling y'all, we would have started windmilling across the table. It would have been on and popping right there. Because Alexis is disrespectful. She knew what she was doing. And then once she felt like, oh, we on TV and maybe Donzella might have the receipts. Let me go check my receipts. She was like, oh, I did look at my phone and I did call you a whore and I apologize. Not accepted, bitch. Not accepted. See, this is a situation where I understand why people be like, I don't want to fool with your family. I don't want to have nothing to do with your family. That's your family. You want to go over there 4th of July, you can go on. I'm gonna stay at home. I don't feel like Donzella has to put up with them sisters. You can't make me go somewhere and talk about put my big girl panties on. No, ma'am, psychologist, whoever you were. I ain't gotta go nowhere with people calling me bitches and whores. Because see, now you put me in a situation where I might lose my temper and do something outside of my character. No, let him be over there with his miserable ass sisters, and I'm gonna stay at the house. And if anything, them sisters might end up losing their brother. They might end up losing whatever relationship they might have with their brother if they don't change. Now, I believe at the end of the day, everybody gave their blessing to Shanika and Paul except for the oldest sister. And the oldest sister looked like to be the one that had the most sense, but she at the end of the day talking about still ain't giving my blessing. Well, bitch, guess what? You ain't gotta come. That's one less meal I gotta pay for. Really, I wouldn't invite none of them sisters. Now I know this is your family, but I wouldn't invite any of those sisters. But that's just me. But that was it for Family or Fiance. I know that was a real quick review. I just want to give my 2 cents on the points that stood out on the episode for me. Definitely get in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Really good. I really appreciate new talking points and not the same old shit from the last few seasons. Um, I can't wait to see what goes down this week. I'll be back. I finally have an empty nest again. My son, as a matter of fact, today was his first day of college. Well, he's a sophomore now, but it was the first day of the school year. I got to call him and see how that went. And my niece and nephew went home yesterday. So I'm back to an empty nest. So I will have plenty of times to get these reviews back out to you. And I can't wait to have some more fun with you online. But until this weekend and we get into the next episode of Family Fiance, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to Kiss My Cheeks TV if this is your first time with me. I do all the reality shows and all the competition shows. We have a good time over here. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.